It's weird. When I look at the weather, it's minus 25, it's minus 30. We have a weather advisory for snow. Those are the times that I'm out running. And for me, it's because that's my power. And when I run by people's houses and I see them watching TV, my fuel is me outside doing something that they're not comfortable doing. I don't want to seek comfort. I want to be out there doing something that I didn't think was possible. And the fact that I'm doing it, when these people have perfectly healthy lungs, it kind of drives me to continue.
1, 2, 3, 4.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 98 of the On the Runs podcast. We are fresh, maybe not that fresh. We are sure off our Eastern States 20-miler. We're going to talk a lot about that, but first, I need to say hi to my co-host, Eham Shazam, because she is not six-star Erika yet. What's up?
I don't know how you have so much energy right now. I am so tired.
I am so happy the boys fell asleep. I guess they didn't nap today, so they fell asleep like a full hour early. I'm like, let's go now. Let's go. Let's go.
Are you seeing this? This is bedtime, Erika. I am like ready to go. Glasses. My eyes are like non-existent. I am so ready for
Are you
bed.
seeing me, though? I have like a goggle tan from those big sunglasses that Nicole loves so much. I got the goggle tan going on from today. I am slightly concerned, though. I have a development in something you and I have been talking about. My Normatec, which I lost the charger I told you about last time. You gave me your charger.
Mm-hmm. Better keep.
It
better
won't
take.
charge.
Wait, what? It's the same
it
one.
It won't charge.
Oh no.
Yes, I don't know what's going on. It just won't take a charge.
You better take care of that charger. But that is not good.
I would buy you a new charger. They're only $60.
Well,
That's a lot of money.
Yourself a new charger, but that's really weird that it won't charge. I don't know.
I'm concerned. I just thought like the battery. So I thought the battery was so low. It just took some time. An hour goes by, I come back up. I'm like, oh, I'll check. It's not taking a charge. Still says battery low. I don't know what's wrong with it.
Well, leave it plugged in for a while and see what happens. But if it's been more than like 5 hours and you have nothing, like that's, oh no. Yeah.
I'll leave it plugged in, but not overnight because we don't need any fires in my house again.
No, because I want my charger back.
Yes. I'll get you a new charger. But I don't need no fires. Okay. I do though have a nice shaved head now though, so I've might have fixed that problem. Still working on the other one. But long time no see. What's going on? Happy St. Patty's Day. It is Sunday. We're recording.
I know. It's been like, 4 hours since I've seen you? Maybe 5. 5. We'll go with 5.
Let me tell you, that brand new car you have, I was getting really comfortable in that seat with the seat heater on full blast. Oh, it was nice. So let's go. Let's just do our Eastern States 20-miler recap right now before we get to our amazing guest, Josh. We'll get to him soon. But yeah, we started the day in your brand new car.
Yep. I met you at one of the park and rides and picked you up and drove you the rest of the way to the race this morning.
Nice.
And I'm glad you enjoyed it. Now you know why I'm so excited about that car.
I always drive and you're like, dude, I'm going to drive. I'm like, no, I will. And you're like, no, dude, I'll drive.
Well,
and we went back and forth.
I didn't want to leave it at that park and ride. That's kind of the sketchy one, but
then you said, dude, there's a rule, no eating in my car. I'm like, well, then I'm definitely driving.
Let me just preface it. I've had this car for a week. I want to keep it a little clean. So even I didn't eat in the car. Or let me say I didn't.
You did too. You broke your own rule.
I didn't eat while driving, okay? I had a peanut butter bagel this morning, peanut butter jelly bagel, like we were talking about in our brackets. And I had it in a Tupperware container. And once I parked, I was like, all right, time to chow down. And I made sure to eat, like, I had the bagel here. Like, all the crumbs went into the Tupperware container. No mess made. That I just want to keep it as nice as possible. I mean, it's my brand new toy, you know.
Well, you have no kids, so that will be easy.
Hopefully
that will be easy for you.
But I already got dirt in it, and I'm sad. But at least I have.
Oh, my God.
Come on, it's my new toy. I want to keep it nice. But yeah, I'm glad you liked it. Nice and comfortable ride. I'm a safe driver in it.
We're rocking out to some Lady Gaga, some Rain on Me because it was raining, some Justin T for you.
Seemed to be your jam, the Lady Gaga this morning. You had quite a few ones that you were telling me about.
Yeah, I could rock out to Lady Gaga every day.
Yeah.
So we got there, though, way too early.
Yes.
But that was because of you. You wanted to get there at 8:15, a full hour and 5 minutes before the buses leave.
You know what, though?
I already had the bibs. I picked them up. The boys came with me. That was a blast.
I am not sad because we did not have to wait that long in the porta potty line, and we beat the traffic. And the traffic was awful trying to get into that state park. So no regrets. No regrets here. How about you?
None.
used a couple
I was
extra
fine. I could have
minutes of
settled for
sleep,
another
but
30 minutes in bed.
so could
but,
I.
no big deal. I think what was clutch, though, was so you park at Hampton Beach State
Mhm.
Park, and there's school buses that pop up. We got on the first bus. That was clutch.
Yes, it was. And who did we see first thing getting on this bus? I was so happy.
Well, you knew them. I didn't. So who was it? They're your
my
friends.
gosh. I hadn't seen her in forever, but I got to see my good friend Lynn, who had done all the Tokyo training with me. She got me through winter, lagged me out of the house to go do training runs, and I am so thankful for her. It was so nice to see her out because she had been battling injuries, so she's back doing her thing. And I got to introduce you to Rob Fierro, who is the Ghost Train race director.
That's
And
right.
I had met him a couple times. I think I'd seen him at Ghost Train when I ran it last year. And then I met him when Karen was finishing up her 100-miler at Hamster Wheel. I was so excited. I was like, hey, I know you. And we had a little chat, and then we got to sit and chat a little bit more on the bus today. So it was a lot of fun.
Well, that wasn't how you introduced me to
What
him.
did I say?
just think you went, oh, Rob from Hamster Wheel. I met you and Karen, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
I missed
and
the
then
key piece.
5 minutes later, you missed the key part of saying he's the Ghost Train race director. And you said to me, like, dude, he's the Ghost Train race director. I'm like, I don't know that. You're introducing me to your friend.
Yeah, I know.
Like, yeah.
But
Yeah. But Lynn was super cool because Lynn was like, they're on the runs. And he's like, oh, I don't listen to anything
a
or
little
watch
podcast,
TV.
yeah.
I don't do anything. But he was still cool.
definitely cool. But yeah, that bus was like the place to be apparently because shortly after we got on, we got to see Jay and Justine.
They were in the back of the bus, and it was kind of funny. Like, I never heard this, but you were like, is someone calling my
I
name?
did hear
Is someone calling my
I
name?
heard Erika.
And then
I
it was like they are, and they're like, come here. The cool kids sit back here.
You're gonna love this. I don't think you heard it the second time. So I thought I heard my name. And of course, like
I didn't hear it either
of course,
time.
like I was like, oh, okay. What's going on? But I didn't see anybody at that time because they were in the same row as us. So my head didn't swivel enough. But then all of a sudden I hear 6-star Erika.
Oh, yes.
I was like, wait.
That's what they did.
So I actually turned around.
Soon to
They're like,
be.
come here, come on. So we wound up moving seats and visiting with them for a little bit. It was fun.
The only bad part about that move was the seat. We moved back there, and I got stuck on the window side of the seat with the wheel well. And I was like, oh, man, if this thing ruins my whole race, I'm going to be like, it's your fault because I moved back here with you to hang out with the cool kids who I love too, but I'm all twisted up and everything for that 30-minute bus ride. But that didn't happen, so I'm not going to blame anyone.
Good.
One of you.
Yeah. Bus ride was uneventful. We get to the school though.
I would say it was eventful, actually.
Why?
Like Millennium reposted the video I took, and then some girl in the other aisle, like 3 rows up, turns around and goes, you guys are on Millennium's Instagram stories. You're famous.
So big.
It was a fun bus ride. We just needed to be like all singing songs or something.
Yeah. Well, shout out to John Mortimer because that was pretty fun this morning. We had a good time. But
shout out to whoever his content person
good
is.
Point. Yeah, I'm sure he was pretty busy this morning. But yeah, being on the first bus has its perks. We arrived at the school very early and
there was no line in the porta potty. It was like a race.
Complete opposite of last year. Because I don't know if I remembered, if I told you guys last year.
You did.
But yeah, so the bus that I was on wound up taking a wrong turn. It took extra time to get there. We were one of the last buses to get to the school. And I had to wait for a good 45 minutes for the porta potties. And I started the race like 15 minutes late. I was like, not in the best mood for that particular year's race, but this one definitely had a better start.
I was there.
Well, also that. But I had Dave. last year.
Again, because I was there.
Sure, whatever.
No, we had prime porta potty spots there. I was third in line. That line took a little long, but yeah, no, that was great. We were good to go. Then we went back in the bus, hung out with friends and people.
Got to see
and
so many people while we were there. That was
we
great.
felt like we were there way too early, but I kind of felt like it had to be that way to avoid any porta potty situation. Make sure everyone has time to check their bags and to go inside the school and change whatever they had to do. The race got kicked off at 11 o'clock after the national anthem, and we were good to go. So the wait was fine, but we met so many fun, cool people there at the starting line because we were there for an hour.
We met so many people. I had to literally make a list. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready. Let's see if yours matches mine.
Okay, so in addition to when we were at Hampton, I got to meet Heidi again. So Heidi is one of my Anchor Down friends, and she ran the 25K of the Cherry Hill Farm Ultra that I did last year. So she's just an awesome ultra runner. She's doing some awesome things. I got to catch up with her. It was great. And then I got to meet friends of yours who I hadn't gotten to meet yet. So Jen, Sammy, and their friend Jenna. So
yes, Jen and Sammy I met last month. Yeah. So Jen is doing Boston and London. She had that fundraising event just the other week. Sammy's doing Boston. She's wicked fast.
Damn.
I wonder if she won.
Ooh, we should
I wonder
look
if she won again. Sammy, did you win?
You did in our book.
By the way, I make Sammy laugh.
Oh, good for you.
With my oatmeal.
Oatmeal. Dude, I have to just say, I listened to that again, in the car the day that it dropped, and I was cracking up, and I was there for the whole thing, but keep mispronouncing whatever you want. It's amazing. Don't ever change.
All right. Oatmeal.
Oint.
Yeah, no, but Jen was there with Sammy, and they had a friend named Jenna. So I had this debate: do I wear my hat? Do I not? Yep. And I told them about the debate, and Jen was like, "Oh, just throw it in my bag." I'm glad I didn't because they're wicked fast, and they blew us away, and I would have never had my hat back. Which I'll tell you what I did with my hat later. Yep. We met them.
Yep. And then from our RWB club on Wednesday nights, we saw Ian and Amanda. Always great to see them. I got to introduce you to Maggie. So Maggie's from SRTT. She's super fast. She's just an awesome inspiration. And I'm so glad I finally got to introduce you to her.
That was my first time meeting Maggie, but I ran last year in a race with her. We saw her at Goffstown Gallop, and I remember my Maggie story is this. You're like, dude, because you're faster than me. You're like, I'm not going to stay with you. I'm going to go out there and try to place. And as we're walking in, you saw Maggie walking and you go, well, I guess I'm going to run with you because I'm not going to win.
I mean, it's the natural first thought.
She's cool.
She is super cool, and she has some speed behind her. So if I had to not place, I'm glad I lost to somebody like her. Not lose, you know what I mean, but she kicks some serious ass. And then we got to meet one of Candace's friends. Oh, that was really fun.
That's right.
Her name is Jen. So, listener of the pod, Jen, super cool to meet
Brand
you
new
today.
listener. Just started around Candace's episode. What was that? 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, right before Tokyo. So that was really fun too. And then one more person I want to shout out.
She crushed it, by the way.
Yes, she did.
She beat both of us too. She crushed it.
She did. By a lot. By good. We'll talk about that later. But what?
Well, she beat me only a few minutes, but she crushed it.
But one more runner I want to shout out is T. Kerman. So I see her all the time. She does the Galway run walk, and she just is out there crushing it every time. I just think she's so awesome, and just keep doing what you're doing, T. You're fantastic.
So how'd your race go?
You know what? I went into this thinking I was really worried about weather.
You went into this thinking it's going to be the blizzard of 78. That's how you were dressed.
I always do that. Oh, my God.
The day before, Tara Pterodactyl's like, what's the weather look like? And you're like, it's going to be cold and windy and rainy. It's going to suck. I'm like, it's going to be great. By 11 o'clock, no rain. The sun's going to be trying to come through the clouds. It's going to get warm. We show up. You even said Eric will probably be in shorts and a t-shirt.
This is why we work well together, because you talk me off of these ledges. You're like, your weather is wrong. Look at my weather. This is the right weather. And I'm like, but what about
you? Still dress like it was the blizzard of 78.
Because I don't know how to dress. I would rather be too warm than too cold. That I run very cold. I will hit an equilibrium point, and I will just cool off instantly. One gust of wind and I'm frozen. It doesn't matter how warm I got beforehand. So I do think in the beginning I was really overdressed, but then towards the end when it got really windy, I was like, okay, I'm comfortable now. So, but yeah, it was, temps were nice. The rain went away like you said it would. So good job. But the headwind towards the end.
I should be a meteorologist.
Oh yeah, go for it. Amanda might have some tips for you.
Well, I started the race with my Boston Bruins winter hat,
Yeah.
which I run in a lot. So this is nothing new, but it's not a runner's hat, and
it's like a pom-pom beanie.
Yeah. And I knew I was going to have to get rid of it. And I was okay with letting this hat go because I've had it for a few years and I could just use another one. I also wore a top that I really like as far as it has the little thumb pockets, thumb sleeves or whatever. And it really helps with the wind. And Jay and I were like, we should wear the hat and these tops because it's going to get windy. Well, a mile in, I was like, I'm definitely hucking both of these. And I'm thinking I'll huck it in a bush and try to go back and get it. And then we saw Karen, and I was like, I'm going to give her my clothes.
Clark to the rescue. So you had told me that she was going to be there. She was going to wear like a bright yellow, kind of like we are both wearing right now, bright yellow clothes.
Yeah, I got the Eastern States shirt on.
I got my penguin sweatshirt, so there we go.
I like this one. I like bright colors and neon. I'm trying to add color to my life.
I actually got it in a size that fits me this time. I'll actually wear it again. But yeah, so she was supposed to be wearing yellow, but she must have gotten too warm and took it off or something. And we completely ran by her. So I was going to stop and say hi, do like a quick little content video of you like throwing clothes at her. But I didn't see her until after. Like she was like, hey. And I was like, oh no. So I just was like, hi, Karen. See you later. And that was it.
Well, I made a quick 130-degree turn to the right. And
you did. And I was like, I am not doing it. Yeah. Nope, not doing it.
Yeah. And so she's like, it's your race. What are you doing? I go, take this and take this, give you a hug. Bye.
And that's why Karen is the best.
So I finally caught up to you and you were clicking off some good miles there. It took me like probably 2 miles to catch up to you.
And I kind of regret doing that. I didn't mean to run faster. It just kind of happened. And I noticed I was doing some like 8:40 somethings. And that was not the plan for the day. Absolutely not the plan. I didn't really have a plan, but it wasn't that. So I had to. Well,
you told me you were hoping to be under 3:20.
Yes.
Around 3 hours, 20 minutes. That was your thought.
In the past, I've done this race, I think 4 times with one other 10 miler that has my PR. And so my PR was a 3:09. And I've done anywhere from like a 3:26 in this race. It all depended on the weather. So it was all over the place. And I knew I would have been happy if I was like sub 10 minute miles. That's great. Like honestly, a 20 miler, just finishing would have been fantastic. So it turned out a lot better than I was hoping. I ended up with about a 3:10. So a little bit better.
Way to go.
How about you?
Well, my race was kick-ass. So let's back up a little bit. I got a running coach back in the fall, October 1st.
What's up?
I joined onto Nicole's program, and we had no plan. I just said, you know what I miss? I miss being in half marathon shape every day where I can be traveling for some reason or whatever.
Oh, and
there's a half marathon in town. Yeah. Drop in and run the half marathon on a whim. And I used to be in that kind of shape before COVID. I've lost it. So I go, let's get back there. We'll figure out my race. My race was going to be the Shamrock Half in Manchester that I did 2 years ago. And I'm like, let's just do it again. It's down the road, easy. Well, then that race is not happening. And I'm like, what do I do? You're like, do the 20 miler with me. Not even knowing there was a half option, I was like, okay, I'll do the 20 miler.
I'm pretty sure I told you about that, but maybe you weren't listening to me.
Well, you may have told me, but you said I'm doing the 20 miler. I'm like, fine, I'll do it. And then I committed to doing the 20 miler. And I don't want to be on a different bus and be around other people that I don't know. I'm sure they're all amazing. I just want to do the 20.
Your
and
coach was at the half marathon.
She was, but she has her plan.
Well, yeah, you would have been
on
a
I'm going to do this.
Though.
It's for fun. Let's get me to 20 miles because I felt like I was already at half by that point. So I signed up with you to do the 20, and I'm so happy I did because it amped up. Now, let's be honest. Hockey season's wicked busy. I probably got to do 80% of everything she prescribed to me. I felt bad. I really did. I was like, this Nicole's doing all this work, coming with a plan, and I'm having a hard time really fitting in long runs and a few other things, or I'm really messing up the days and I'm switching them around to fit it in.
I really want to hear her thoughts on you doing that. So, Nicole, just think about it. And when you sub in, Yeah,
I don't think she minds, but I also think she's kind of like, we just getting not annoyed, but like, we got to figure out the routine, what works. And I'm just like, get me through hockey season. I got to get through hockey season and we'll talk after that. But hockey, very busy. So found out I refereed a few of Heidi's kids games this year too,
right?
Which was interesting. Yeah. Good thing she wasn't like yelling at me or anything.
She's a good hockey mom. She's not one of those parents.
I hope so. But anyways, my longest run was 17 miles a couple weeks ago. And I did that in 3 hours and 1 minute. Couple weeks ago with you. 3 hours and 1 minute, around there. Okay. We're doing this run and I am feeling freaking awesome. I'm clicking off. I'm in the mid 8s, sometimes low 8s. I had 2 straight 8:59s, might have been a hill or a water station. So I walk, and this is kind of my thing for anything, a marathon I've done or the Ironmans. I walk the aid stations. I grab the water, I walk. That's my walk. Not a big deal. Get a little bit of a break, and I don't want to be running with the water and be like, honestly, because I pull from the aid stations. I don't carry water. That's a
great strategy, and one that I like to do during my marathons because it's just a good reason to walk. And as long as you can keep it like a short and snappy break, you're off and running again. You're still feeling good. So it's like a nice break, and you can still pick it back up from there. So yes, that is good. I suggest doing something like that.
So secretly, in my head, I wanted to, before the 17-mile run, I was like, I think I can do this in 3 hours. I had some really good runs, sub-9s. I was like, I think I can do this. But that 17-miler ended up being just over 3 hours. And I ran with you and Jay.
You
and
did a lot
I walked one time with...
Yeah, you were walking a lot and taking your time.
But I was like 3 more miles in the same amount of time. I don't know. And so we started the race today really slow. Like our first mile was 10:20. It was crowded, lots of sharp turns and everything. And then the second mile was a little faster. And then we started clicking off the mid 8s, right? And I'm thinking, well, those first 3 miles being slow is no big deal. If I'm like running 8:20s and 8:30s and 8:40s, I think I could get like 2:59:59, maybe 3:01. So VDOT, what she uses, predicted I would be a 3:04.
Okay.
Well, I was like, I think I got this. And I hit half a marathon, and that I had like a wicked good half marathon time for me. It was under 2 hours.
Same
and
here.
I'm really thinking like, I might do this.
That was my one goal. Like,
but then I hit 7. So I loved how the miles counted down. By the way, like you don't have to do no running math or anything. So when I hit 7 to go, I was still feeling good, but I'm like, ooh, maybe my legs are going to get mad at me here. And then the headwind started to really come because we're on the shoreline, and I didn't like the headwind, but I was still doing really good until the last 5K. And I struggled even mentally, telling myself, don't walk. And then I was like, dude, it's cool. You can walk. You can walk for 1 minute every mile the rest of the way. You're fine. And I didn't walk because I got an aid station. So I did my walk there. And then I got another aid station, didn't walk there. I did walk one time. I gave myself 60 seconds. I already knew I was going to be over 3 hours. I was just like, I need 60 seconds because I made a turn and just the wind blasted me in the face. And I said, nope. Take 60 seconds and then we'll go the rest of the way. That was with 2 miles to go. And I'm glad I did that because I really actually felt like that last mile, I felt so much stronger. However, that right-hand turn, like I'm thinking I can hear the crowd and the arch is right in front of me. I am going to finish in like 3:03 or whatever. I'm like, this is great.
Pissed about that.
And the road turned to the right. And you had like another half a mile. So my watch wasn't exactly correct because when I started the race, I hit start. And for some reason, a third of the mile in, I looked at my watch. It was off. It wasn't off, but it was back to its normal watch mode. And I'm like, did I hit the wrong button? What happened? I think it got paused trying to find GPS and then it reset because I didn't touch anything. So I was about a third to 4/10 of a mile off. So I didn't know exactly where I was. I kind of had a clue. I didn't expect the road to turn. Man, what a heartbreaker.
Let me just tell you. So in the past, so I've done this a good 4 times. Before Millennium took it over, they took it over last year. This was run by a different company. I don't even know who, but it is notorious for being well over the 20 miles it claims to be. The first couple of years, it was probably 2.3 mile or 20.3 miles. And even this was still like 0.15 over. And I'm just like, you can see it right as you're running down the street. And then you have to go all the way around like this huge loop. I'm like, no.
I passed the guy and I'm like, dude, we're right there. It's right there. And he kind of laughed at me. I was like, come on, let's go.
I'm like, this could have been exactly 20 miles. But no, you had to make it go all the way around again to make it over. I'm like, I don't know. I was not feeling that. It was just kind of, it's a letdown. You're just like, no. It's right there. It's right there. Ugh,
so I finished, and my time was 3:08:45. Now, again, remember, I did 17 miles 2 weeks ago, and that was like a 3:01 or 3:0 something.
Huge improvement, yeah.
Big improvement. I mean, I was in race mode. I was feeling good. VDOT, like it was pretty damn close on. I think if I didn't have the headwind and I didn't have the couple walks, maybe I would have been right at that 3:04. Right. So I finish. I get my medal. I actually have not, here's my medal. I have not put it around my neck yet. So I'll do it for the first time right here. I'll tell you why. So you remember when Nicole coached Ron at the Providence Marathon? Yep. She gave him the medal and like he grabbed one and then she already had it for him. And he did, I won't tell you what I'm going to do because I'll do it next time I do a race and Nicole's there. But I was like, if she's here and wants to put it on, I'm going to do this little dancey move that Ron did. When she does it. So I didn't put it on and I'm looking around. I grab a banana and maybe 3 minutes pass by and the guy, I just hear, here comes Erika Himmel, Nashua, New Hampshire. I'm like, son of a bitch, you caught up to me. I thought I crushed you by like 20 minutes.
I wasn't going to let you get that much of a lead over me. No, I was just, I don't know what it was. I was feeling pretty good too. I mean, that headwind was pretty awful, but it wasn't as bad as it has been in previous years. And I had to do a run walk strategy towards the end. I was getting tired and I was, I don't know, not feeling 100%, but I did my best and I did totally catch up. And this view of you right now from my camera, I could totally see your sunglasses.
Yes,
sorry,
right?
I had to point it out. I was like, don't move. It's a good look. Quick, don't move.
It's a good look. We always thought in college, like the goggle tan meant you went on a good spring break, not Cancun. You went to like Colorado or Tahoe. Oh, yeah, gotcha. I definitely have it. No. Yeah, this is good. Wow. Yeah. Look at this. Look at this, guys.
So let it be known that Eric did, in fact, run faster than me, but he put in the work. He has been doing awesome. I'm just so proud of you. And yeah, you did catch up to me and I could not hold on to your pace. So I was like, see you later. Enjoy your run.
I mean, when I caught up to you, I was just like, good job. You're really clicking these off right here. And you're like, yeah, I'm kind of surprised. And then a minute later, I'm like, oh, I just dropped her. Something weird that's been happening this year.
What?
Talking about mispronunciations earlier.
Like that. Sorry, yeah. Yep.
My last name has always been mispronounced.
Did they say it right?
Well, no, they didn't, but it's always has. You know what's never been mispronounced until this year? My first name.
Yeah, that's right.
For the second time in 2 months.
Oh.
3, call it, 2 months, like middle of January to middle of March. I've been called Erika when it's right there in front of you.
Oh.
Why are they calling me Erika? Matt Wilpers called me Erika.
Uh-huh.
When we did the Peloton bike ride. Erika on the runs. Happy 500. And he looks right at you and you're like, no, it's him. And he goes, oh, looks at the screen. Oh, the guy called me Erika Knute from Manchester. Oh, it's Eric.
Oh, well, at least he corrected himself.
And I heard him correct it, but I first was like, did I just get called, or is the girl next to me an Erika too, or something? And then KJ says, oh yeah, well, he totally called you Erika, which we'll get to KJ in a moment.
Well, yeah, I saw KJ as I was finishing. She was on the sideline and she just yells my name. And I look and I was like, it's KJ. So this was the second time I got to see her. I'm so happy. But so I had gone over to say hello and get a picture. And she was like, oh, yeah, I just saw Eric. He finished only a couple of minutes before you. And I thought she called him Erika. That's why I told you that. But I didn't know that they did it. So,
they
Millennium,
did.
you got some splaining to do.
Well, not just them. Matt Wilpers, Peloton.
Yeah, but you're not gonna get mad at Matt Wilpers. You can't get mad at him. He gets a pass.
Oh, I'm not mad at anybody. I'm just like, geez.
Erika
Everyone's gonna
is the
start calling me
superior
Erika.
name, apparently.
But at least if I was an Erika, I would spell it right.
Shut the F up, dude. I love my name. I love my spelling. Yeah, that's all.
Well, you mentioned we got to see and hang out with KJ. You did first, then we thought she bailed, and I was actually really bummed.
Yeah.
And then we finally did see her. We didn't see, like, Justine killed it, and she left. Nicole left. I'm assuming Jen, and Sammy left. But we got to see Lynn finish. We got to see Jay finish. We got to see a few others. We got to see Diane and had a good talk with her. And then we had a great talk with KJ, as we talked about. And then we went back to your brand new car, and you made me sit on a towel.
I did. I want to keep the seats as nice. Hey, I sat on one too. So at least
you did.
At least the heated seats still permeated through the towel, right? I'm just trying to keep it nice.
It's been 1 week. It is still nice.
Give me some time. Summertime, I'll be like, shit, I forgot a towel, and I'll be running at the rail trail. I'll be like, fuck it. I'm gonna just gotta sit.
No, you're gonna end up running home to get a towel and then run back to drive the car back.
I don't have that level of dedication. I don't think so. We'll see.
You know, if I have one regret throughout this whole race and this whole thing, it was we were debating: do we meet in Londonderry at exit 5 or Epping at exit 7?
I offered to pick you up at your house.
You did, and I needed to take up that one or go exit 5 because I was so comfortable and enjoying not driving in that seat. Yeah. I leaned that seat back. I had the seat heater on full blast. I was nice and warm. And then when we went out to eat and get some food, like I got cold in that restaurant.
I did too.
I was like, I just want to be in this seat. And we debated, like, do we podcast from the car? And the only thought that I had was, I kind of want to because I want to go in your car and turn on the seat heater.
You just need a new truck. Your next truck will have the bells and whistles, like the nice luxury.
It's going to have them all because that next truck's like $75,000.
Yeah, maybe not.
It's going to be a lot of men's league hockey to referee.
What about your van? Does it have those heated seats or no?
It has. Yeah, no, the van's awesome. The van has heated seats. We did.
It's
so
a hybrid.
you know what?
More.
Shame on me. Well, the van stays with the
Ashley
kids.
needs. Yeah, I know.
I mean, they could go in the truck for a day, but shame on me because when I met Jen and Sammy, they were like, let's carpool together. And I was like, yes, I have a minivan. It will be awesome.
Oh, and then there you go.
Shame on me. I dropped the ball on that.
Oh, well, there's always the next race.
We need to get to our guest. And then when we come back on the outro, we need to talk about the girl with the shorts.
Oh, my God. Yeah, we do.
Okay. So we have an awesome guest.
Josh, yes.
His name is Josh. He's the asthma runner. This guy has been following us since the month, like the first week I started the Instagram page, right? And he was brand new to running, and we chatted for a few times that month. And then
excellent.
Yes, he is. He is. And we reconnected recently because I saw he was on like the Today Show, but for Canada because he's a Canadian. And guys, his voice, he has one of those voices like an accent, but that Canadian, that Ontario accent. I'm just like, oh, I love it. It's so much better than a Southern accent or a UK accent. I'm just like, I loved listening to him talk.
Super good to listen to.
Little man crush, Josh, little man crush. He's also not a teen. He's a twin dad, and he has the coolest dog in the world who does all the tricks.
Well, not only that, he probably gave us one of the best Code Brown stories we've heard to date.
Yes!
So, you guys are going to love it.
I've always used it as an example in my emails to people like this. It actually happened. So let's do it. Let's get to Josh, the asthma runner.
Here we go.
What do you say?
Yes. Here we go. Everybody, Josh Rheaume on the On the Runs podcast.
Our next guest on the pod is from north of the border. He's a twin dad, and he is a dog that can do almost anything around the house. Throughout his life, he's faced the challenges of asthma and you can find him on Instagram at The Asthma Runner. It is our pleasure to welcome Josh Rheaume to the On the Runs podcast. What's up, Josh?
Hey, Eric. Thank you. Thank you both for having me. I'm so stoked to be here. I'm a big fan. I really am.
Yay! I'm so happy to hear that. We are super excited to have you here. Josh, it's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
Josh, you have been following us. You're one of our early followers. I went back and I noticed we were messaging back in like August or September of 2021 or two, like 1 month after
Sounds
creating
about
this account. And you were the Asthma Runner then, you're the Asthma Runner now, you're from north of the border. Like, this is really cool. It's a long time coming, but we finally got you here on the pod.
Yeah, you were one of the first podcasts I listened to when I started running. I wanted to get away from, running to Joe Rogan, the typical podcast.
Yeah.
And as I was getting into it, I wanted tips for myself, and I found you guys super helpful. So I tuned in.
Love it. Erica's always got those good Code Brown tips too.
I wouldn't say I have tips, but I mean, that's what we're here for. We love to have people just enjoy us. I mean, I don't know how useful my knowledge is, but if I can help anybody, it makes me happy.
I would say we have experiences, and we have people who come on the pod who share their experiences, or we call them stories. And I think that's helpful for everybody.
Yep. I think you lived through them, and I lived through them.
Definitely.
So I got a couple quick questions before we get to know you. One is, I'm super excited because you're a twin dad and I'm a twin dad, and all these twin parents I'm finding through the pod, I have an extra connection with, but you have twin girls and they're a little younger than my twin boys. Tell me about your girls.
Yeah. Lily and Lennon, born November 11th, 2022, which is perfect. 11/11/22. Super neat. Found out they were girls early on in the pregnancy. Of course, being a high risk pregnancy, we had that, genetic testing done, told us the sex really early. Having them has been an absolute dream come true. And I'm sure you've looked into my TikTok a little bit as well, which I surrounded. My girls kind of surround that TikTok. They created that TikTok. And I have videos of them and my dog and my family. And it's been an absolute whirlwind. They're 15 months and change. Which I was telling Erika earlier before we got started. As a parent, or before you're a parent, you always say, okay, yeah, your kid's a year old. And as a parent, my kid's 15 months, 3 days old. So a lot changed in a short period of time.
Yeah, I think, okay, you're at 15. My advice is once you hit 18 months, you stop saying months. Because you'll run into that one parent and oh, how old's your baby? 117 weeks. What?
That's right.
Yeah. What are you talking about? No.
I'm bad at math. I would never figure it out.
So the girls are your first two, right? You went from 0 to 2.
0 to 2. That was our plan. My wife is a twin. She's got a twin brother. My brother and sister are twins. It runs in the family, and we were hoping for it. My wife would have liked at least one boy, but that's okay. She's a one-stop shop. That's all we got.
You got two. You got two though. We got two sisters. It's going to be so cool. Twins. I can't imagine my life. So I had a daughter first. Now I have twin boys. I can't imagine my life without twins. And I feel bad for anyone who doesn't have twins. And at the same time, I'm also like, oh, you got it easy. You don't have twins.
That's right. No, absolutely true. I was stuck with just one of the girls this week. The other one was in daycare. This one had a fever. And I found how easy it was to just look after one kid as compared to the two. And I was working at the same time. I was, training at home, and I was able to look after one kid. So a lot different, just having the one kid over the two. But I do feel totally guilty for people that don't have two. It's such an amazing experience.
You actually don't have two girls. You have three because you have Lucy.
I have three.
And Lucy can do anything up to changing a diaper, I think.
Pretty close to it, yeah. I'm sure she could do that if we wanted her to. I just don't want to clean up that mess. She gets the milk out of the fridge for the girls. Before she was born, I thought it would be a cool party trick if we had her getting a beer out of the fridge.
Yes.
And that was quickly replaced by... Actually, I should correct myself. I taught her with water bottles. My wife got home from work, and she said, "What are you doing? It's New Year's. Why don't you teach her with beer?" So that turned into beer, and then years later turned into milk. But yeah, she does so much for us. It's unreal.
So Erika, he has, and I just found this because I'm digging this week into research over the weekend and trying to figure out a little more about you. And I do the link in bio, and I'm like, oh, he has a TikTok too. thinking it's going to be just the same Asthma Runner content that you put on Instagram. Nope, completely different. It's twins, and it's all your two little girls and your dog. Dog's grabbing diapers, or you ask the dog to get wipes and the dog goes to get the wipes. And you do like a lot of production. It's not just like the dog goes 2 feet into the room and comes back. Like it's the dog running down the hallway, turning, grabbing the towel on the fridge, opening the fridge door, grabbing the bottle, bringing it back to you, and then going back to the fridge and closing the door.
It's a lot of work. I have four phones going at any one time when I'm making a video.
So you do it all at once. That's even better.
Yeah.
Wow. That's some
do
amazing training, though. What kind of dog is Lucy?
She's a chocolate lab mixed with German Shepherd and Husky. So she's a mutt, but an amazingly smart girl. Absolutely perfect. She's 8 years old. 8 years old on Valentine's Day, actually.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
She listens better than my boyfriend would. I have to like beg. I'm like, come on, you're already up. Go get me a drink.
Yeah, my wife would agree that she listens better than myself too.
The other thing we haven't touched on is you're north of the border. You're in Canada, and we don't really know much about where right now. I have an idea. Now, your last name is Rheaume, so you would think French Canadian in Quebec, but I think you're in Ontario.
I am. Yeah, I'm in Ontario. Quebec, beautiful province. My roots, of course, being from Quebec, and before that from kind of northern France, years and generations ago. But yeah, my family does originate from Quebec, and they live now in even more north of me. So I'm in Sudbury, Ontario, and my family's from Hearst, Ontario, which is about 7 hours north of us now. A little bit colder than it is here, that's for sure.
7 hours north of you now. That's like the distance from us to you. So that's near Santa in the North Pole. That's got to be up there.
It's pretty close to Santa. Yeah.
Is it a highway or is it like a 2-lane road of 7 hours?
It's actually a highway, more or less all the way up there, but it's a pretty dead highway. A lot of, old houses that aren't lived in anymore. It's an area of Ontario that's really only there for logging, and trucking and stuff like that. Old mills that have now shut down. So
is that
these days it's seen as a ghost town.
Is that like the neck of the woods of ice road truckers?
Kind of, yeah, not too far. Yeah. A lot of them actually live in Hearst, and they do that for a living.
Why don't you tell him where you came on a field trip once? Because you're not too far from where we are living.
No, yeah. In school, I think I was grade 7. I played percussion in band. So I always played in band, and we made a trip to Hampton Beach.
Oh, no way!
We went to Boston, but we made a couple trips on the way and went to Hampton Beach. A couple other places I'm not too familiar with now. It was so long ago, but I loved it. It's beautiful.
You two got to talk before I jumped on, so you got to know each other.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's the kind of stuff that he misses when he's late, or should I say we were early.
You were early. I was on
That's
time. Right. Absolutely. But when you jumped in and jumped out, he's like, "Oh, you got the hockey shirt on," and I go, "You're a big Boston Bruins fan, right?" And he goes, "If I was lying, I would say yes."
I'm a Pittsburgh Penguins fan. Sidney Crosby is minutes away from where I was raised.
Okay.
So yeah,
That's cool.
easy sell for me. Yeah.
So did you watch the game last night?
I did not. No. My dad was down visiting, and my wife and I used it as an excuse to go to the bar, just sit down, have a beer, and talk.
Well, I was paying attention more on social media, and I saw all the Yag stuff, all Yager out there. They all were skating around with the mullets, and he dressed up for warm-ups and skated. He had his number retired last night. I thought it was really cool. I thought it was so cool. When he came here and played for the Boston Bruins, I was actually at a game he scored in. Both games he scored in. He only scored 2 goals. I was at both. And my theory was, I need to go to the Stanley Cup final because then he'll score and we'll win.
That's right.
We lost, so it's all my fault. That was 2013 against Chicago. So, but yeah, all right. So you're a Penguins fan. That's better. They did steal our colors of black and gold, but it's cool. You're not a Habs fan. All right. You're even cooler now, and you're not a Leafs fan. So
definitely
dude.
Not.
Oh, dude, you're perfect. You're perfect.
Yeah.
Did you grow up playing?
I did, yeah. Nothing crazy. I always played AA. I dipped down in a house a little bit if I missed tryouts due to some breathing issues or broken wrist or what have you. But typically played AA up until college, and then I kind of just stopped and played a little bit of beer league between now and then, but not a whole lot these days.
Yeah, especially with kids, man.
Oh,
My wife tells
unreal.
me if you're at hockey, she doesn't really tell me this. It's just what I tell others as my own excuse. I go, if I'm not at hockey making money, I can't be there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, yikes. Red flag, red flag.
That's kind of a good transition, though. So you mentioned that you played some hockey. So growing up, did you play any other sports? And what got you into running? Like, have you always had issues with asthma? And just
Always.
let's dive right into all that.
Yeah. So always played hockey. Put skates on my feet when I was 4 years old. Other sports, I played a little bit of soccer here and there, a little bit of baseball, but nothing really. Hockey really was my main thing. Running was something not even in my vocabulary. It wasn't possible for me. Even playing hockey, I was, the way hockey works, you go out for a short 30-second to 45-second shift, skate your butt off, then you get back to the bench. And I'd get back to the bench, I'd take my inhaler every time.
Oh.
I'd take an extra shift or two off, then I would go and I would skate hard. I was a goal scorer, so I would still, score a couple goals a game typically, but I was really only out there on short bursts. But
well, you made him count, so good for you.
I did, yeah, absolutely. But no, other than hockey, really a little bit of soccer. That's pretty much it. A little bit of baseball, but that's where it ended.
And you weren't a runner during that time. Like I ran in high school to train for hockey. So that wasn't really your thing yet. Your fitness journey hadn't started, but you already had asthma.
Oh, yep. Already had asthma. So that happened about 2 months old. I was diagnosed really young. Typically, they don't diagnose with kids with asthma until they're about 8 years old. Reason being is other testing that's needed, spirometry, pulmonary function testing, stuff like that. But I was really severe as a kid. I was always in the hospital. I was tubed multiple times. My main triggers being allergies and exercise induced, of course. So any kind of running, walking, going up a flight of stairs, that kind of thing. Had a really tough childhood with it. Like I said, running wasn't really something I could consider until I got older. And actually my first time running was in college. I decided, hey, I'm going to go for a run. And figured I'd go for 1 kilometer short run. On my run in the middle of night, I came across a bear. There was a bear on my run.
That's a code round.
That's a code round, right? Yeah. My very first run was pitch black. I'm on this road in the middle of nowhere because I didn't want to run around people. I didn't know how to run. And I just, I mean, if you know what it's like getting into running, you don't want to run next to the highway when you have no idea what you're doing. So I'm in the middle of nowhere. This bear comes out, jumps in front of me on this road, and I freaking terrified. I ran faster than I've ever ran in my life right past that bear. And that 1 kilometer run turned into about a 5 kilometer run because I took the long way around. There's no way I was turning back and dealing with that guy again.
I was not.
So that was my first ever experience with running. Yeah. No way. Yeah, I can't outrun a bear.
And I mean, you actually went out again eventually.
Yeah.
I would have been
years later.
Maybe running's not for me. That's scary.
Yeah, no. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, it was interesting, that's for sure.
So you said years later. You saying you took years off because of the bear incident?
No, no, more just it was so difficult. It wasn't sustainable for me.
Yeah.
Looking back in hindsight, you're new to running, you go out there and usually new runners just run. They run, fast, they run too hard. And that's what I did. And it scared me away. My breathing got bad. My heart rate was elevated. I just never really went back to it. It was just too much work at the time.
Tell me this then. You grew up with asthma, so you had this lifelong challenge. And during that time, I'm guessing you're going to learn ways to deal with it and to do, exercise. So hockey, like you said, short shifts, running long periods of time. What were some things you learned along that way to help yourself still exercise and getting over the challenge you had with asthma and to avoid an asthma attack? I don't think Erika's ever had asthma. I've never had it. So this is new to me. I have no clue how to deal with this if it were me.
Yeah. So when being born essentially with asthma, I was told your asthma will probably never leave. You'll have it the rest of your life. And so far it's proven true. I still have it. I'm still on quite a stack of medications. And that was an issue for me. I woke up one day, actually my wedding day, I was 278 pounds, 5'10.5", average height. And something needed to change. And for me, I could never have just a diet because it wasn't sustainable. didn't have any goals. I wasn't setting any goals through my diet. I didn't want to just lose weight to look good. I needed like a lifestyle change. That morning was a huge realization for me. And I decided it might be tough to run. I might need my inhaler a bunch, but I need to adopt a healthy lifestyle. So I went for my first run. That was a few years ago, not too long before I followed you, actually. And I think you followed me back. Went out for a short run. It was 100 meters. I stopped. I took my inhaler. And I decided I'm going to come back tomorrow. I'm going to do the same thing. I went to the track where nobody could see me. I didn't feel, so subconscious. It was just me, a little town of about 2,000 people where I live now. Came back the next day, made it 200 meters, took my inhaler. The next day, 300. Eventually, I worked my way up to 1 kilometer, 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers. My pace got faster. My shin splints started going finally because, I put too many kilometers on them too soon. And then, we have what I did in October. So in October 15th, I ran my first full marathon, which was huge. So to go from that to that, yes, it took me probably 3 years, but I did it whilst listening to my lungs. I did it safely, and I created rules for myself. If I need to stop and take my inhaler once, okay, well, that's okay. I'm not going to push it too hard. If I need to stop to take it 2 times, I created my golden rule. I'm going to stop running. I'm going to come back tomorrow and do it again. And it's led me this far, and who knows how much further it's going to bring me.
You did your 100 meters or your 100 yards or 100 something back and forth.
Yep.
Do you plan your runs like out and backs, or do you do loops to stay close to home? Like say you had to use the inhaler twice, but what if you're like already 5 miles out? Like now you got to get 5 miles home. Do you plan to make those kind of plans? Like I'm always going to do a loop that's close to home, or how do you go about that?
I don't so much anymore, but I did. When I started getting out of my comfort zone, I was one of my first times, actually, I was 10 kilometers away from the house, which is far. It was a long run. And I had a bad attack, and I had my inhaler on me. It doesn't do anything when you're having a bad attack. So I called my wife. Fortunately, there were no twins at the time, so she could come and pick me up, bring me home. I take my mask, I get better. But before that time, and even after that time now, I use Strava so my wife can track my runs as well, and Garmin, so she can follow me as I go out for my runs. But I will typically run the same loops close to the house. I don't mind, seeing the same sights every day. It doesn't bother me. I'm just happy to be out there. So yeah, I'll find a, the same loop that's somewhat close, kilometer loop if I can, and I'll just keep running it back and forth. And yeah, that's fine. Whatever I got to do.
Good for you. So you were saying that you have an inhaler and you'll carry that with you all the time.
Yep.
What is the mask that you were talking about?
Yeah. So, it's called a nebulizer. Goes into a machine which you put on your mask, and the nebulizer essentially turns that liquid into a gas, which goes into your lungs, opens it up. So you're continuously getting that nebulizer into your respiratory system. Unlike an inhaler, which is just a puff here and there. Mm-hmm. So I'm sitting there in it for 20 minutes. It does help, and if it doesn't help, that's usually when we go to the hospital.
Oh.
Yeah. Never
Does that
so
happen
good
to you
when that
often?
doesn't help. Not anymore. Since beginning running, I discovered something that I call lung conditioning. That's actually why I started my journey on Instagram. Mm-hmm. I had no intentions at all to get my name out there, to start a journal. I just wanted to, once I discovered how I was actually helping my lungs, how doing this running was allowing me to go out and walk up a flight of stairs, not take the elevator, or go for a hike, not take my inhaler. I had to share it with everyone because I didn't have that luxury as a kid. I didn't know this existed. I didn't know I could push myself through endurance sports and it would actually benefit me and my lungs and make my life a lot easier, but it has. So every hour that I put into running every single day, it just betters me inside and out, literally.
Well, and I'm sure there's people out there who see your story and they go through the same thing as you. So they're like, okay, well, he can do this, I can. And maybe they can even follow you or send you a message and be like, how did you deal with this? Did this ever happen? And I bet before that, people, yourself included, would be like maybe scared to go out on that hike because I have asthma. And what happens to me if I have an asthma attack out there and I don't have my inhaler? Or what if my inhaler is not enough and I need the nebulizer? Or if I need to go to the hospital, there's no way they can come and rescue me off this hike. So I'm sure you had a lot of that and they do too. What was it was the weight loss. But what got you to the point where I'm going to research and learn and condition my lungs and be on that whole scared to go do everything aspect of your life?
Yeah, it was funny because dealing with asthma my entire life, I've literally never been told about this lung condition. I didn't know it was a thing. I couldn't find anything about it. So when I started, releasing this information, kind of blogging my journey through it, that's when I started being reached out to by organizations such as Asthma Canada. And Asthma Canada allowed me to just expand the reach that I had, help more people out so they can kind of understand that this is a thing. Please get out there and do it. And working with Asthma Canada, at least, just strictly nonprofit, it has allowed me to do that, to really share my story and speak with educators in the asthma field to get that information out there for them as well. And of course, weight loss was the main reason why I did it. I'm 183 pounds today, which is substantially lower.
That's like 100 pounds about.
Yeah, that's just about 100 pounds. Yeah. So the second, to answer that question too, with another answer, when we had the twins, I had gained some of that weight back. So I went up to 240 pounds. And I just felt like crap. And that's really when I started realizing how detrimental being out of shape was, not working on my aerobic system was. And then I put it in hyperdrive really. And I really started running. I lost all that weight again and more, got in better shape. And yeah, it's huge. It's huge for me to keep it off and to continue going so I could help other people out. The little, 10-year-old kid that was myself at home, wondering why all the other kids are able to get out there and play, and I got to sit at home, and the doctor's telling me to sit at home. I can't do this. I can't do that. Just wanting to reach them and let them know that it can get better. It will get better, and it's okay to try, and it's okay to fail, and eventually you're gonna figure your body out. And that's really what it is understanding your own lungs. And that is my message that I've kind of tagged myself with getting out there since I started my account 3 years ago.
Nice.
That is a great message. Absolutely. It's so beneficial to just get out and be active. I mean, if you're capable to, like, if your body will allow it, just get out, be active. It will help you. And I love that.
Absolutely. So important. And not to mention, mental health benefits as well. It's just so nice. There's nothing like the runner's high. And I don't care who you are saying, I've heard people say runner's high doesn't exist. It exists for sure. At least it does for me. I enjoy it. I love it. Keeps me going every single day.
All right, I got one more asthma question, and then let's get into running and your running stories here.
Okay.
But you have the girls. Did you have to worry about that, like beforehand or after? Is there a way to test? Do you already know the answers? Like, does asthma run in your genes, or is that just like by luck of the draw? Because again, I don't know the answers to these questions, and I'm just wondering. Your girls are so little. You had it at 2 months old. Are they going to have it too, or do you even know yet?
Yeah, so there is a certain amount of genetics that are at play. Unfortunately, the girls have been diagnosed with bronchitis. As I mentioned before, they can't be diagnosed with asthma until 8. We've had them in the clinic recently for some breathing issues, and they can diagnose them with bronchitis, so they're on their puffers. But at least they have me at the house with them to kind of help them, coach them through it. So that's okay. My only hope is that it's not as severe as mine was. But so far, so good. They're quite active and it doesn't seem to make their breathing any worse. And at least I can mitigate those issues that I had, those symptoms, those triggers, where I can in the house as well, to help them out a little bit.
When you run with the inhaler, like how do you carry that? What do you use? Do you use like a vest, a flip belt? Do you hold it just in your hand? Mm-hmm. Like you probably got this figured out to a science.
I do now. Yeah. I used to keep it in my hand.
Lots of practice.
I would carry it as I ran because I needed it, rather frequently when I started. It went from being in my hand to being in my sock. I have a cap on it, so it didn't taste that bad. You do what you got to do. Yeah, in my sock. And I was always scared to have people see me with it. And that's something that's, kind of mirrored me being a kid as well. The same thing when I was a kid, I never wanted people to see me take my inhaler. Now I have it in, it's a little sleeve that was given to me by an organization, but it clips onto my shorts. So all I do is unclip it,
nice.
Take it, put it right back out. And now I'm not scared to use it. I'm not scared to show it off. It's kind of my thing. At this point. And I strap it right to my side, and I don't typically need it nowadays, but when I do, I just continue running, take it off, just take my inhaler once or twice. I don't stop.
Good for you.
I know I said last question, but I got another one now. I just keep popping in my head. A friend of mine, Ethan, great guy. I worked with him in NASCAR, and he had diabetes. So he had like a special necklace all the time. He had a tattoo. If anything ever happened to him and a paramedic saw, they knew what they were dealing with. Is that something in the asthma world you have too, that you might carry with you, or to let someone know in case maybe someone found you passed out on a run and really what you had was an asthma attack, and they come up to you, an easy way for them to identify maybe what would have happened?
Yeah, I mean, I do have the kind of that health app, I guess, that comes with your iPhone. So I do have that set up to say that I have asthma. I've recently started work on a sleeve, so I do have, I guess I do have a stethoscope on me. But my plan is to get the medical alert on it as well. Actually, so
Medical, that's what he had. Yeah, I just keep. This is going to happen throughout the podcast. I'm going to be like, "Oh, wait, let's go back. I got a question. I want to know because, excuse my stupidity, I don't know the answers. I've never had to deal with this, and I don't know what you're going through. So it's all new to me, and I'm sure to Erika too. So it's really interesting, and it's exciting to hear.
Well, let me say, I'm glad he's asking the questions because they're just coming to him faster than they're coming to me. So
ask away.
Good.
Well, let's go running. Let's talk about running. This is a running podcast, and you are the asthma runner. So we know how you started. You went out and back 100 yards, 200 yards, 500.
And found a bear. How do you beat that for a code?
And then you found a bear. Yeah, you need to top the bear story. How can you top the bear story? You just did your first marathon, but let's go through the journey. How did you build? Did you have a coach? Did you have a plan, or did you just go out there? And what were some of these running experiences you had that you could share with us?
Yeah, like I said, when we had the twins, I gained a little bit of that weight back. At some point, Asthma Canada reached out to me and said, "Hey, do you want to collaborate?" I still had my account going. I didn't really post very often. And I said, "Yeah, of course. What do you have in mind?" And they said, "Well, we have the TCS Waterfront Marathon in Toronto coming up. Would you be willing to run as part of Team Asthma for Team Asthma Canada?" And I said, "Of course, let's do it." Thinking at first I would do a half marathon or something like that. They asked me what I wanted, but something got into me, and I said, "You know what? I'm going to do the full marathon. Let's do it." So they offered to pay, of course, and I was looking for donations as well. So I was able to raise a lot of that money back, which was great. So for the cause, I decided, hey, I'm gonna do the full marathon. So that's what happened. I got brought into this marathon kind of last minute. I only had 2 months to train for it. I went out there and I started really running, essentially having gone from couch back to running, after a few months, built myself back up to, I'd say, a half marathon distance. And my plan was going out there for the marathon, not to, beat any records, I had to be there before 6 hours, be at the finish line before that 6 hours DNF. And I didn't really care about the pace that I was running. I just wanted to get it done so I can prove to myself and prove to the community as well that it was possible. And the sky really is a limit. Now the run itself was interesting. For me going into it, my heart rate was the biggest worry. As my heart rate elevates, my asthma seems to get bad. So my plan was to go in and run about a 7-minute kilometer, 7:30 kilometer pace, which is quite sustainable for me at the time, 230 pounds. So that's what I did. I went out there. I was able to maintain that, ran all the way through it, took my inhaler a few times. That's totally fine. And yeah, I finished it 5 hours, 23 minutes. Certainly not beating any records there.
Nice job.
Thank you.
That was my Ironman. I think that was my Ironman marathon. I've only run 2 marathons, and one was here and then one was the Ironman. And that was about that. Like, that's still a great time.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, definitely not horrible, not the best, but I was super proud of myself. I still am.
You did it. Yeah.
I got the bib there on the top, next to
nice
all the
582.
Yeah, next to all the sticky notes that I set goals for myself on my accountability mirror. As I achieved them, I put them up around the wall so I could see them, and then it kind of motivates me to create new goals. Which brings me to my next one, which is a sub-4 marathon.
I want to know about the asthma team, Asthma Canada. Like, did they ask you, and you're the only guy? Were you in a team of like 12 or 2 or 102?
I was the only one on the team that I met. It was a team of 5 people, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I believe 5 people. Me being in Sudbury, them being headquartered in Toronto, really wasn't able to meet them too soon. I did go to Toronto once before the marathon for a media opportunity that I had on a breakfast show.
I saw that you were on TV. It was almost like the Today Show, but for Canada.
Cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is, right? No, that was super interesting. So I was nominated and actually received a Marathon Hero by the TCS Waterfront Marathon itself. So the organizers nominated me, and I got Marathon Hero, one of two, anyways. So I had all these media opportunities to go on it and again talk about asthma, my story. That was a really good opportunity.
Nice work.
Now, Sudbury, Ontario, besides being home to the Foligno brothers, how far away is that from Toronto?
It's about 4 hours.
Okay, so you're probably closer to Ottawa then?
About the same. Yeah, about the same. Yeah, it's about 4 hours each way.
Is that a drive? I'm guessing that's a drive. Right?
That's a drive. Yeah. Bet.
So I'm trying to picture then, like, would you call Toronto your home city, or is Sudbury considered the home city? I'm trying to like picture here, like, is that your home marathon? For me, our home marathon would be the Boston Marathon. We're an hour north of Boston, but even though there's so many marathons within the general area of the Seacoast,
that's the big one.
That's our big one. Yeah. Would that be considered the big one for you?
I think so. I think it would be. Yeah. We have a little local one here. Sudbury has a population of 190,000. I'm in a community 40 minutes north. I consider Sudbury my city, but I'm 40 minutes north in a town of about 2,000 people called Cape Reel. Really tiny. If I run a half marathon here in town, I'm essentially running the town 3 times, maybe 4 times, which is a lot of fun. But yeah, I think Toronto would probably be considered if we're to run a home marathon. We do have a local one, but I think last year we had 30 people run the full marathon, 30 people register and run it. So it's really not busy here. I do plan on running that one to set my, sub 4 hour, but it's
there you go. You'll have a really good chance at getting age group award, that kind of thing. Yeah. Oh, you're good.
Top 10 last time I checked. Yeah.
There you go. I like that. I came in second in my second ever triathlon. I just don't tell people I was in second of 2.
They don't need to know.
I still got a $30 gift certificate to a running store. So I'm like, I win.
That's right. No, they don't need to know.
I was on the podium. I did it. Oh, absolutely. Small victories, man. Take every one of them. So you did a 5:23 marathon. When was the Toronto Marathon?
October 15th. Yeah.
This past October.
Yep, that's right.
Okay. So wait a second. And you just did a sub 4 recently?
No, my plan's to do sub 4 in May.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. That's me not listening. That's the podcast. That's the host not listening there. So you're working on track for a sub 4 hour marathon in May. Where are you going to do it?
I'm doing that here. So out of the 32 people that will run that marathon this year, I looked at the results from last year. That'll put me in 9th place. So I'll give myself one of those little victories. Hopefully.
I think you should make it 33, Erika. Go up there, add Ontario to your list of places to run a marathon. There you go.
I'll see. When is it in May?
May 26th at 8 a.m. sharp. Shotgun start.
That's Memorial Day.
We're going to be in Colorado next year.
I'll totally put it down.
Perfect.
That'd be cool. We could make a road trip to Canada. It's not that far.
Maybe you'll have to come down October 15th for the Waterfront Marathon again. I'm going to be running that one as well. So if you guys are, ever
Toronto.
in the area,
that sounds Toronto. Amazing.
We could do that. Oh man, we keep talking about doing a lot of trips, but that one sounds fun. We go to Toronto, check out the marathon, go to the Hockey Hall of Fame. It's the summertime. Check out a Blue Jays game.
I've been pre-running era. Erika has gone. So I think I went in 2009. So it's been a long time since I've been up that way.
We'll check out Niagara Falls on the way. This is great. I love it. We can, Josh will give us a tour of Sudbury. Absolutely. Like I've always hear about Sudbury. You ever watch Letterkenny? They talk about Sudbury sometimes. So yeah, this will be great. How are you focusing? How are you training to get that sub 4? Are you following a plan? Do you have a coach? What's your game plan here?
No coach. Fortunately, I'm doing it all on my own. But I'm training with a buddy of mine. It'll be his first marathon. He ran a half marathon last year in 1:51. Yeah, so he's on a sub 4 plan with me as well. Yep. It's we're out there running. This past week I ran 70 kilometers. A couple of hard run days in the week. So I do some tempo runs, I do some marathon pace runs, and I do some intervals as well. Yeah. So
So you know what you're doing.
Yeah, I don't have a running coach, but I'm,
You got it figured out though. You got a good plan. You know you're doing the right things.
Yeah, a lot of resources online. Reddit has been a coach for me for sure.
How's the weather been treating you up there? Are you running all your miles outside, or do you have a treadmill? Do you go to the gym? Anything like that?
Well, if you look at all his photos, they're just covered in snow.
Yeah, always. This year, knock on wood, has been a great year. Almost no snow. The weather's been pretty good for the most part. We typically deal with minus 30s this time of year. January as well, minus 30 Celsius, which I'm not sure what that would be in Fahrenheit.
Very cold.
Very cold, yeah. So yeah, it's definitely cold here. I can't stand a treadmill. If I'm on one for 5 kilometers, I deserve an award for myself. So I need to run outside, and the colder, the better. I'd rather layer up, keep my heart rate down.
How do you prepare to run in the cold? Like, what are you wearing? Because I don't wear the right things. I wear an old hoodie, and I usually wear a Boston Bruins beanie hat with a little puff ball on top. It's actually right there. And then I have to wash it and dry it because it gets wet, and I get all sweaty. I don't have any hair to soak up the sweat like you two beautiful heads of hair you have. But I've been running more outside this year, and I just feel like if it's not windy, I'm good to go. What is it for you, and how do you prepare for that?
I wear this time of year minus 25. I think today when I went out for my run, I wore 2 pairs of like leggings, I guess, for men, and then I wore track pants over top of that, 2 pairs of wool socks, a few shirts, and a coat on top. I bundle up really well.
You must come back with like frosty lashes.
And I just googled minus 25 Celsius. Do you know what minus 25 Celsius is in Fahrenheit, Erika?
Do it. I can't. How much?
Yes.
I don't know off the top of my head. It's very cold.
It's negative 13 degrees Fahrenheit.
You won't catch me outside in that kind of weather. Nope.
I'm not even skiing. Like, I'll go to a hockey rink would be warmer in that weather.
It would be. Yep.
Wow. Negative 25 today, and you went running outside. I'm pulling up your Instagram here, and I'm going to pull up some pictures.
Oh, yeah.
Check this out, Erika. Check out this guy. He has every bit of his skin covered with the exception of his eyes, but he still has all that snow on his eyebrows and his eyelashes and even like on your hat there. But dude, kudos to you going out there. Like, so this is what you do. Is this like a good example of what you dress up like and wear?
Oh yeah, most days. Yeah, pretty much actually that I wore today. I take my photos. I try to take my photos before now because I take my phone with me, and it gets so cold that I can't really take a non-blurry photo. Yeah, so I don't get these photos very often unless I leave my phone at home.
I love this photo of you and Lucy. This looks like a run, and you run on these trails. Tell me this now. If you run, do you run on trails like this in the winter too? And what do you do for shoes? Do you have like special shoes just for the snow, or do you wear like booties to keep them dry and to keep your feet dry?
No, my feet get wet. You know what? I take that in stride. I wear my Sauconys. Right now I'm running my endorphin speeds. But I have a pair of spikes that I put on the bottom of my shoes. That's all I need. Oh yeah, I got.
Oh wait, here's the spikes right there.
Yeah.
There they are.
Here we go.
Yeah, that works. That works. And does Lucy go on a lot of the runs with you?
She did most of the runs that I've done until more recently when I'm getting up there in the 11, 12 kilometers per session. I won't take her. It's a lot on her. 8 years old with some old joints. I don't want to. But she'll come with me on all of my short ones, anyways. I'd say my sub 8 kilometer runs. I'll take her with me. Oh.
And look at the girls there. I love how you gave your girls both names that start with L, like the same letter. My boys are Tommy and Tyler, so they both start with T.
Perfect.
And I don't know if you do this, but I do. We just took them to a preschool. They're going in 2 weeks. So by the time this drops, they'll be in their first preschool. They asked, how do you tell them apart? And I go, oh, we tattooed their initials to their feet. And I go, they're first like, oh, why do you do that? And they're like, wait, the initials are the same. I'm like, oh, why did we? Oh man, we screwed that one up. And then I'm like, no, I don't know. Half the time, can you tell yours apart? Because I can't sometimes.
So ours are fraternal, but they look identical. Everyone thinks they're identical. We got their ears pierced actually, so we cheated a little bit.
Oh,
one has green.
Wait, did you do them differently?
We did, yeah.
Oh, that's genius.
Smart. Smart.
I gotta do something like that. Something like an identifiable. Oh,
Just get a tattoo.
I'm gonna
right on the forehead.
Yeah.
Give one of them a mohawk.
Yeah, I would love to. I used to rock the mohawk.
Nothing cuter than a
Erika,
kid
do
with
you
a
remember
mohawk.
those days I rocked a mohawk? Man, I was cool. I was cool.
There are some college pictures from back in the day with you with that head of hair.
I don't think Erika lives. So Josh asked me earlier if I played hockey, and I go, yeah, I played, and I think I'm phasing out of refereeing, but I said I got the fake teeth to prove it. I don't think Erika ever got to experience my fake teeth. Well, actually, you did. There's a picture. There's a famous picture of you and me running, and I'm missing my tooth because I broke my fake tooth, and so she has experience.
I remember that. Yeah, good stuff.
Oh, so you got that race coming up. I asked you that. Sorry, Josh. Hold on. All right. So stories. So, yeah, no. And I hear Tommy screaming downstairs. I don't know what your kids are doing, but
probably screaming upstairs.
I hear Tommy screaming. The vent's right there. And then another photo I just pulled up that looks like your Toronto photo, and so that was back 18 weeks ago in October. Mm-hmm. The kids were almost a year old. So when you said your girls were born and you gained that weight back, I'm guessing this is part of your journey, your weight loss journey again. And where are you now? Are you back to the 180 something area?
Yeah. So when I ran that marathon, when I got called to run that marathon 2 months before it, I was 240. When I ran the marathon, I was 230. I understood the need to not cut too many calories. I needed to fuel my body for that training. I only had 2 months of it. Mm-hmm. Once I ran the marathon, I went kind of hard into, cutting out the calories. Did a lot of zone 2 cross training. So I cross trained zone 2 about 9 hours a week now. And that brought me down to 183 pounds since October 15th, which is huge. So now I run a lot faster and I run a lot longer. I feel like my injuries, my shin splints aren't returning. Having that weight off is huge. And it keeps me going and going. And I think my body's pretty happy right now. I'm able to fuel myself, get in excess of calories. I don't gain, I don't lose. I'm kind of happy at 183, I think.
Good for you. Maintaining. That's how, nice. Yeah. Once you find a place where you're comfortable, that's where you got to stay. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's some good lessons. Cause, I still have some winter weight that I need to get rid of here. And so I might try some of that zone 2 training and see if it works for me.
That's right. Use your running as kind of the motivation to do it. You can only get better. Mm-hmm. Comparison, at 240 pounds running a 10K, I was doing in, 8.5 minute pace. If I wanted zone 2 right now, I'm doing a 6.5 minute pace for zone 2, which is nice.
I got to look this
much better.
I got to look it up.
Are you going to do conversions? I was thinking you were going to do that earlier, but
I tried it. Then I just got then I Googled the Toronto Marathon and everything. And all right, so you run. Okay, you said 7-minute Ks? No, you didn't say that.
So if I'm running zone 2, so if I want to keep my heart rate around 135, currently I do about a 6-minute 30-kilometer pace.
6:30 pace. Conversion chart.
5 minutes later.
I hope I'm reading it right. Okay, so that's a 10:30 pace per mile. All right, cool.
That's great.
So you're right where I'm at because I just had my easy run today. 3 easy miles at like a 10 to 10 minute 30 pace. So you and I are right at the same place. However, I got to lose another 40 to get to you. I can't get rid of the 220 number. I'm just stuck at 220. I got down to 198 when I did my Ironman. And
yeah, I 100% put it towards my zone 2 training. And of course I intermittent fast as well. And I'm vegetarian, so that helps.
How do you like intermittent fasting? Because I did that and it's been so successful, but I just have never stuck to it. Is this like a thing you've gotten in a habit of just doing every day? What do you do? 8-16 or?
Mine's a little bit different. I've been doing it since probably October for sure that I've been intermittent fasting. It's kind of my lifestyle at this point. My body likes it, gives me enough energy. I'll wake up, have a protein shake, usually do my workout. And I try to eat within a 4-hour window. So from noon to 4, I don't like to eat too late. Don't want to, have that much in my body to digest at night when I'm sleeping. So yeah, I try to eat before 4 or 5 o'clock at night anyways.
So you only eat for 4 hours of the day?
Yeah. I have one big meal, maybe 2. That's pretty much it for me.
So I've done that, and I even did a full 24 hours, and actually I surprised myself that I did really well, and I loved how I felt during intermittent fasting, but I always felt like while training, I couldn't do it. It would be like an off-season thing for me. And then with life, with hockey and kids and everything, it's just like, you'll get there soon when your kid's a little older. You start eating their food. Like I just had 3, before we came up here, I just had 3 partly eaten corn on the cobs.
Partly eating. Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm going to finish the corn on the cob. Like 3 of them, I got about 1.5 total, probably because the boys just didn't finish it. I'm like, I'm going to eat it. And it's the kind of thing that happens with kids. Erika doesn't know that, but it happens to me, and it will likely happen to you, and every other parent who's listening is probably nodding. Yep. I totally do that too. And then I fall off the intermittent fasting track.
Mm-hmm.
So kudos to you. I should do that again after the 20 miler we have coming up. I'll do like a solid 2 weeks. I felt great every time I did it. Like legit, I felt great.
It's hard at first, for sure. It's a big adjustment on the body, but your body falls into it so quickly. The benefits you get from it are just amazing. And for me, it's so sustainable that when I do cheat, when I do go back to my old ways, I just feel like crap. I just feel like shit.
You feel like shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I made a note here. We're a storytelling podcast. I don't want to encourage bad stories, but I have a serious food allergy, right? And on occasion, not in years, but especially during my childhood, I had some, I wouldn't even call them scares, just hospital visits, right? On a camping trip in the middle of nowhere, I break into hives from something I eat. But do you have any asthma stories you could share with us, and maybe asthma running stories where maybe, like I said earlier, you go out on that run and you're 5 miles out and, oh crap, I had a moment. Do you have anything like that to share that we could hear?
Aside from that one instance that I've had, I try to be pretty close to home. I have been, I guess, rather resilient in my older years, just having dealt with this stuff when I was a kid, being in those positions before. I do have an instance when I was younger doing sports. I think I was playing kickball in the gymnasium, grade 10. And I remember my girlfriend at the time was hard pressed in, having me do these Halloween plans that she wanted. So for days, I think it was 4 or 5 days at this point, I was having an asthma attack. I needed to be in the hospital. But for me at the time, I was in the hospital 3-4 months a year. And I was like, you know what? She really wants those plans. I'm going to make sure this happens for her. So I took my inhaler every few minutes for days till we were playing kickball one day at gym. And I ended up collapsing. Of course, I don't remember anything, but I collapsed. I woke up in a hospital. That hospital transferred me to another hospital. And that night, I went into, I guess I stopped breathing. So I was airlifted to Halifax sick kids, where I spent about a month and a half with a really bad chest infection.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal. And before that, I was more open to doing stupid things, really prolonging the amount of time that I could go without taking my inhaler or going to, to get medical attention when I needed it. And then after that happened, grade 10, I've been pretty good with it and, taking baby steps, making sure I'm close to the house, as you mentioned before. But that was probably the worst instance that I've had.
Well, it's definitely smart to take those steps.
Yeah, for sure. No, I have to. And with Garmin, it makes it easy. In Strava as well, I can broadcast my location for my wife. And, if something does happen, she gets a notification and hopefully she can find someone to come pick me up.
So she's not a runner then. She just watches your journey on the phone.
Yeah, no, she's super supportive. But my wife tore her ACL a few years back. So she doesn't do a whole lot of running or physical activity these days, especially with the girls. She's usually holding down the fort.
Well, she's got her hands full with the girls,
She
that's
does.
for sure. She's running around enough with them, so.
Definitely. But she does want to. She wants to get into running. So we've, talked about getting a treadmill for the house, and maybe she can try.
So just for her, not for you. You won't be using it.
No,
Yeah.
I won't be.
I'm pretty biased when it comes to that, but hey, there are more cost-effective options out there for sure.
Big kudos to you though, man, for going
Oh, that's
outside
crazy,
365 days a year, no matter the weather, really. Like, wow, that's nuts. We're not even that extreme here in New Hampshire, and it's not even twice as cold or twice as warm here.
I'm like, it's 25 outside. No.
Yeah, right. No, it's weird. When I look at the weather, it's minus 25, it's minus 30. We have a weather advisory for snow. Those are the times that I'm out running. And for me, it's because that's my power. And when I run by people's houses and I see them watching TV, my fuel is me outside doing something that they're not comfortable doing. I don't want to seek comfort. I want to be out there doing something that I didn't think was possible. And the fact that I'm doing it, when these people have perfectly healthy lungs, it kind of drives me to continue.
I love it.
It's a huge motivator of mine. It's weird.
Yes.
The colder the weather, the more snow out there, it honestly better for me.
So do you not like running in the summer, or do you enjoy it, but it's just...
I enjoy it, but it's not the same. Now I enjoy trail running in the summer. It's beautiful. I don't enjoy trail running so much in the winter time. Obviously, I don't want to run with snowshoes on, but I prefer winter for sure.
Yeah, you had to do a lot of conditioning, not only for your lungs, but for your mind to get out in that kind of weather, and you just succeed. So keep up the good work.
Oh yeah, that's the plan. No, I love it. Life has only gotten better with running.
So we know what's next. We know you're doing the marathon in your hometown in May, but what else is next for you? Like, what's your game plan with social media? Like, your Instagram, like you said, you do it sometimes. Your TikTok actually is like huge. It's not running related, but it's huge. Like one of your videos had 17 million views. You got 170 something followers. What's next for you? Not just running wise, but just for Josh Rheaume.
So
Did I say it right?
Yeah, you said it right. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so good. Josh Rheaume. Oh, it sounds awesome.
Perfect. No, it sounds good. You say it so well, so elegantly. I love it. What's next?
That never happens, by the way.
It was all the practice beforehand, maybe. That's the thing. So I do have this other TikTok account, Twins, and it's great. Lucy has made our family famous, put Caperville on the map. We've been in People magazine. We've been live on Good Morning America. CTV, CBC, more local stuff. Miami Herald, you know what I mean? We're not even American. It's cool to be getting calls from all these places, but I feel like that 15 minutes kind of it went down because I wasn't passionate about it. It was great, but there came a day when I asked my dog to do something and she just looked at me and she gave me like kind of sad eyes and I felt like I was exploiting my dog almost. And it was a lot of fun. We all had a lot of fun with it. But right now I release a video maybe every month. And it does well. Typically I'll get thousands of views. But I mean, up until that, day we went viral, I recorded my first video on TikTok was my wife in labor. And I was poking fun at her. I was like, oh, look at this. It's going up and down. This must be do you know what I mean? She wasn't all for it. I had 40 followers. The girls came out. I did a video a couple days into it, posted it. I went out for a walk. I came back and I had like 2 million, 3 million views and things started changing. And every video I'd release would get either millions of views or hundreds of thousands of views. And it was fun. It was enjoyable, but it was something I wasn't really passionate about. So I kind of closed the book on that. Not really. I've been more thinking ways I can bring those followers over to my Asthma running account because that's something I am passionate about, which brings me into what is next. And what is next for me and my brand, my name, is I'm looking into creating my own public speaking business where I can motivate kids, talk about resilience, overcoming obstacles, persevering. It's big to me. Growing up in poverty, in a house in Canada that's it was a 160-year-old house, a lot of dust. We didn't have running water in the winter. We didn't have heat in the winter. Very impoverished family. We didn't have a whole lot. And now that I'm able to kind of talk about that stuff, I really do feel like I might be able to motivate and inspire other kids to be better or to see a brighter future maybe in themselves as well. And you never know, maybe I can bring that speaking over to conferences or panels or other discussions or podcasts such as this, and talk about life lessons and whatnot. But, kind of structuring that business has been what I've been working on the last couple of months, what that business might look like, if any. But of course I have a full-time job now, so that's just something I would do on the side. And time will tell, but my future certainly does lie in my Asthma runner work that I'm doing.
I love that for you. That's amazing.
Thank you.
I hope it takes off and I hope it's very successful.
Yeah, I hope so. Time will tell for sure. But either way, I have income coming in on the side, and if it's something I'm passionate about, then I'm going to enjoy it regardless. It's not all about making money in the end.
Yeah, when you're
Mhm.
passionate about something, it doesn't feel like work. You just do it,
Mhm.
and that's what you want to do. You're going to put the girls to bed, and then you're going to go to work and do some emails and stuff and just do it because you're passionate about it.
That's right. That's
It's
right.
not a 9 to 5.
No, that's right. I mean, yeah, your passion lies in those things that you do that, don't yield, monetary value for yourself. So I'm perfectly okay with that.
It's awesome, man. Awesome. I'm happy for you. You're doing something you want to do, and you've had this challenge your whole life, and you're going to take it and show others and help others and get the word out. That's awesome. Good for you, man. Like
Thank you.
all the weight loss, the running, the learning along the way, then you gain the weight back, you lost the weight again, and now you're a twin dad, and you got a lot going on, and you're following your passion. I love that.
Oh yeah, busy, but not enough days. Not enough hours in the day. That's for sure.
That is true. That is true. And the daylight, I can't wait for more daylight. That's the one thing I don't like about winter. Maybe the only thing is how dark it is for how long it is.
It's coming. Yeah,
It's coming. It is coming. Well, hey, listen, we have a list we're compiling this year. We're calling it the Code Brown Commandments. And this is the perfect opportunity, I think, to make it more than just Code Browns, because a Code Brown is an oh shit moment. I've always said if you run into a bear on the trail, and we've actually never had someone that's happened to until today, so I can finally say it's happened to a friend of the pod. But it could be like for instance, we had someone the other day says, wear a cute sports bra, because if you ever have to use your t-shirt as a wipe, you want to look good. You and I don't have that problem, Josh, but some things could be about being prepared, like bringing wet wipes or leaving no trace.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a Code Brown commandment? And like I said, it doesn't need to be poop related, that you could add. And maybe it would be great to add one asthma related, but you don't have to. You could add anything you want.
No, that's fun. That gives me a lot of options here. Well, I guess I have two. So if you're running from a bear, don't stop. Unless you have a wipe.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yep. And maybe, from personal experience, especially not having twins, never trust somebody else's fart. So everyone here is don't trust a fart. But yeah, I'm not going to trust somebody else's fart either.
That's hilarious.
Keep my distance.
Twin talk here. You ever smell it and then you go to change the diaper and you're like, oh, I changed the wrong one.
Every time that happened today.
Right. Yeah. Right. It's like, oh, Tommy pooped, so I changed Tommy. And I'm like, where'd the poop go? And I'm like, I swear to God, I smelt it from you, Tommy. And it was Tyler.
Yeah, my wife still laughs at me. We were talking last night and she said, what is the one thing that you remember the most of the early days, the newborn days when we had the girls? I forget what I had said, but I think it was, sleeping on the couch with the girls next to me on the ground in the bassinets, and every time they wake up, just rocking them back and forth. We had so little sleep. My wife's was seeing you in a garbage bag changing a diaper, because I went to change a diaper, and of course I thought she was done. It wasn't done. I didn't learn, the 5-minute rule that they shit, give it 5 minutes before you change it. So of course, the second she shits, I start changing that diaper. And when I say projectile shit, I mean projectile shit. Ever since that day, never trust somebody else's fart. Yeah.
Those are gold. I have so much respect for all of you parents out there. I really do. This is
Erica only has to clean
else.
up a litter box. She has no clue.
No clue. Okay. Litter box.
But I like it. Don't trust someone else's fart. I like it.
Whew. But hearing all these stories, it's amazing.
Well, I will let Erica go into her big question.
How do I top that? Okay. So Josh, we have ourselves a Spotify playlist, and we like to invite our guests to add a song to it. So it could be anything that you're feeling at the moment, something motivational, just something that pumps you up and gets you out the door. Would you like to add a song?
Interesting. Can I add my own song? I'm on Spotify. Actually,
whoa!
I'm on Spotify. Yeah.
You're a singer? You're an artist?
Well, I don't do it. It's hard to do it now. I don't have much time, but yeah, I'm going to do that because I'm an asshole, and I'll get my own music out there. But
that's amazing. I don't think anybody else can say that. So go for it.
Well,
you know what? You get 2 songs. You can do your own, and then you get you can pick your favorite song or something.
Perfect. Let's go. Let's go. Favorite song right now is "Sleeping on the Blacktop" by Coulter Wall.
Okay, cool.
And my
I don't
own
know
would
if I
be
know that one.
So I wrote a song for my wife called "Take Me Home, Kelly," and it's Joshua Rose on Spotify.
Aw.
So my middle name is
Joshua
Rosaire,
Rose.
so I go by Rose. A little bit easier for people to pronounce than Rheaume.
Joshua Rosaire Rheaume. I love it.
Rosaire Joseph Rheaume, actually. Yeah, very French.
Do you watch
It does
Letterkenny
sound very.
I
or Shorzy? Do you watch Shorzy?
I don't watch either of them, but I run into some of the cast members actually from time to time here in Sudbury.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Small town.
I like how I can watch and I don't have to watch in order, or I don't feel like I have to watch today. It's a funny show. For me, I think it's hilarious. It's the quick 22-minute episodes that get me because I don't have all the time to invest in an hour-long show.
Yeah.
Right. So I can bust out 2 episodes in a night, and that's less than an hour. And they're just funny. They're different, and I enjoy it. And so that's like up there in your neck of the woods. So that's so cool. You run into those guys.
Yeah, no, literally they filmed like 8 minutes from my house. It's pretty cool.
That's wicked cool. Well, cool, man. I'm really happy we got you on the podcast. We finally did this. We got you on. I wrote a note. Hold on. Let me make sure I covered it. We did. All right, cool. I wrote a note about the rules. You're like, yeah, I made up my own rules of running.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so we did talk about your rules. Though,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So I created that golden rule for myself, having gone out there and realized it could be really bad on my lungs if I run, or it could be really good. So kind of finding that in between, and realizing when my asthma starts to get bad, I'm going to stop. I'm going to take my inhaler. That's my first rule. My second rule is if, for a second time it gets bad, that's when I stop and I just return the next day. It's my way to kind of combat things getting progressively worse. I do have exercise-induced asthma. Some days are just not good days, and that's totally fine. So creating that rule for myself allows my lungs to heal up and be in good shape for the next day.
That's also a good thing to teach people, that not every run is going to be a great run.
That's right.
It's okay to try again. That's what, so one of my favorite trainers, Bex Gentry, likes to say, like, failure, it's your fail, first attempt in learning. So you get to just teach yourself as you go, and it's okay to not do it right the first time. So if you need to take more time, do it. And I like that as a lesson. So
yeah, it's just like the legs, right? We go out there with bad legs and we're not going to run a PB, and that's fine. We're going to run one at some point.
Yeah. Not everything's under your control too.
No, that's it.
Yep.
Well, man, next time you want to get out of that cold weather and you want to come back like in 3rd grade and visit Hampton Beach or something like that, come down and let us know. Erika's got a spare room if you ever want to run the Boston Marathon, or just check it out and share with us. If you ever want to go to a Bruins game, say when the Penguins are in town, like just say, hey, I'm coming down. Let's go to the Penguins. Like, I'm totally down for that. I love to take a friend and go see a game with their team or something. I just think that's totally cool.
There you go.
Yep.
Final asthma question.
Okay.
How many times have I said that? But we mentioned how much things cost. Healthcare in Canada and asthma, like, how easy or hard or difficult is that for you to get what you need?
Okay. Yeah. So it's easy for most things. I got a puffer picked up, an inhaler I picked up this weekend. Would have normally cost $160 Canadian, which is, we'll say $100, $120 American. That's free. I don't pay a cent on that, which is amazing. Any inhaler I get, I don't pay any cents. I go to the hospital. I take an ambulance to the hospital. I don't pay anything. It's great, but there are medications that aren't covered. And that's actually part of my initiative as an asthma advocate, is helping get those medications put through insurance and covered for other Canadians out there, specifically biomedications. So medications aren't so far along right now that just aren't covered. They're not really well known. There is a medication when I was a kid. It's an injectable you put into your body. It would have helped me significantly. So it targets the allergy aspect of my asthma. So essentially I wouldn't have allergy affecting asthma, and that's not covered for kids. So that wasn't available to me as a kid, especially, being $2,000 a needle. And it's still not covered for me as an adult. So getting that out there, and making sure that that's kind of put through the right corridors, I guess you could say, to have that covered is kind of my mission right now as well. But healthcare for the most part, really good here in Canada. They definitely have your back. I have no complaints.
That's awesome. That's great. All we hear down here south of the border from you is how awesome Canada's healthcare is and how we need to do better here, and that will never happen. So, dude, keep getting the good word out there and telling people. And I really hope you do become that speaker and you talk to everyone else there who's battling with asthma. And I hope you take it. I hope you're able to take it beyond Canada and here to the States and worldwide someday and do some pretty cool things. Like that would be awesome. That would be great. And we're super fortunate and lucky to have you part of our pod fam here from the very early days, following us on Instagram and to having you here in the 90s on the pod. I'm really happy we did this.
Me too. Thank you so much for having me. It was great meeting you both.
Josh, it was wonderful to meet you too, and we wish you the best of luck in all your endeavors, especially when you're reaching for that sub 4. We know it's going to happen, so maybe we'll get to talk to you again around when that happens, and we can see how it goes.
Well, I do have my stickers here, my Post-its. I do have one for BQ, so maybe one day I'll be running Boston and I'll
it's
meet up with
gonna
you guys.
happen. We're gonna be at mile 19 to cheer you when that happens,
Perfect.
unless we're running in it. And that's April. Come early, stay late. We'll hang out. Erika's got a spare room, and we'll go to a Sox game at Fenway. That's pretty cool. So, it'll be a ton of fun. Or we can go back to Hampton Beach because you've been there before, and you can see it has not changed.
Yeah, I'll see if my handprint's still there in the sand. Actually, it might be.
Yeah.
No, sounds great.
For Erika, it's the toes, but yeah. Awesome, man. Thanks you so much for coming on the pod. Josh Rheaume on the On the Runs podcast.
Josh, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I have to say, your song that we put on the playlist, the one that you sing for Kelly, is so beautiful. Well done. You were talking about how smooth his voice is, and that just goes to show.
Yes, I love that
Beautiful.
voice. Love that.
You are just
Could listen to
so
him all the
awesome.
time.
Keep doing what you're doing. I know I always say this, but
he's doing great
he
things for Asthma
great.
Canada.
Yes.
He's got the Toronto Marathon coming up, or no, the Sudbury Marathon coming up. He did the Toronto. He's got Sudbury coming up. Good luck. That's so cool.
Go for that PR, man.
Yeah,
Go for
sub
it. 4.
You got this, dude. You got this. So thanks for finally, like I'm glad we reconnected and got you on the podcast. It was great. You're part of our first 100 episodes. That's a big deal to me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm going to count the next few who we already recorded with for Boston Weeks as part of our first 100.
That absolutely
Dude,
counts 100%.
Dude, like you're kicking ass. You got the asthma. That's 2 episodes in a row with asthma runners. That's like we've learned a ton about asthma in the last 2 weeks.
I honestly can't say that I knew very much. So thank you very much to you, Josh, and you, Shayna. You guys have enlightened us. So hopefully it brings some awareness.
All right. I have to tell you a story.
Do you?
I get a phone call the other day. Ashley calls me and she goes, there is something in our porch room dead.
Something.
And it's huge. She goes, I don't know what it is. It's freaking huge. And I threw something over it and you got to come home and pick this thing up and throw it away.
Hold on. Is it like huge for a bug or an animal? Like
animal. Animal.
Oh, it's like
this
a
thing
bird
was
or a
huge.
possum or a rat or like what are we talking?
It was the size. It wasn't as big as a possum. At least I thought, like, is it a possum?
Mm-hmm.
She goes, I don't think so because there's a possum around the house sometimes.
Yeah. Ooh.
I'm like, that possum's like the size of a rugby ball.
Okay.
And she goes, no, it's not. It's not that big. And I'm like, how? Like what? She goes, I don't know what it is. So it's about as big as a water bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a 20-ounce water bottle.
What could it be?
It was a mouse.
A mouse the size of a
it
water
was
bottle.
A mouse.
Are you sure it was a mouse and not a rat?
Yes, it was huge. I know what a rat looks like. Yeah. I know what a mouse looks like. This had all the features of a mouse. And I'm looking at it. It was huge and it was girthy. I mean, it had some weight to it. It was probably 6-7 inches long.
Your descriptors.
So I grabbed this. I actually didn't grab it.
Mm-hmm.
I grabbed gloves and I grabbed a snow shovel and a little rake, and I raked them onto the snow shovel, dropped them in a trash bag. One of those nice, fresh, smelly trash bags too, by the way, like from Febreze.
Okay.
Really nice. Smells like lavender.
Okay.
She goes, what is it? I go, it's a mouse. And it was the biggest mouse I ever seen. So I Googled this.
Mm-hmm.
A mouse can get, that is a full grown mouse. They can get up to 7 inches long and a few pounds. Like that thing was girthy and it had some weight to it. It was the size of a water bottle, but fatter around like the rear end. This thing was huge,
I'm
Erika.
like loopy right now, dude. I don't know. I like mice. I think
Never
they're
seen
cute.
something
Maybe
this
not in
big.
my house, but
Well, so then there was a mouse the other day in my house that the cat's chasing, and the cat got, and I opened the door, the cat goes outside, whatever. The cat can do what it wants. That's the tiny little mouse, like that size.
which led me to believe why, like, it's not a mouse, but it was a mouse.
Ashley's like, did the cat get it and kill it? I'm like, nope. There's no evidence of any foul play with the mouse.
Yeah.
Nothing.
No.
I just think it got into this is like a 3-season screen porch / storage area that it turns into in the winter. I just think it got in there trying to stay warm one night and
did it get in and it couldn't get out?
Or something.
Oh, maybe that too.
That possibly could be it, but I think he got in. He could have probably figured out how to get out. He had the strength to maybe open the screen door, but I just think maybe he was so big, maybe he reached the end of his lifespan. I don't know, how long do mouses live if they live a full life? Like, this thing was huge.
Only like a couple of years, maybe.
I don't know. Mickey Mouse is like 100 years old. Mickey's lasted 100 years.
Special.
So.
Mickey is special.
Yeah, huge mouse. And then I want to tell you one other thing that happened on Instagram, and then we can get into your life and everything else. But I got a message the other day from your mom, and your mom said she loves me.
Yeah, because I don't think she knows who runs the Instagram account. But she does love you, though. But I can't be certain if she was talking to me or you. But
well, I responded and I said, I love you too, and can't wait to see you soon because you're going down south to Myrtle Beach soon.
I am. I'm going to go visit my parents. So it's going to be actually, it's a decent sized trip. I think longer than the last time I went. So six days.
Oh, wow. 6 days.
Yeah. So I finally get to see them. I'm probably going to play some golf. My mom told me to bring my allergy medicine because she said it's super pollen-y down there. But I don't care. And I'm going to hopefully do some long runs while I'm down there, enjoy the weather. They've got like nice 70-something degree weather already. So yeah, just going to spend some time with the Hamels.
Nice. Well, tell them I said hi and that I miss them too. And I hope they like their t-shirts that you're going to bring down to them.
Hand delivered.
And yes, saving me on the shipping and handling costs.
Absolutely.
I'll end on this note. Man, the engagement last couple weeks has been amazing. March Madness, guys, you guys are kicking ass. But when I made that post about, hey, we're shipping these out to guess what state they were going to, so many of you guys read the actual caption because it wasn't on the first line. So you obviously clicked read more. And you all were guessing the state. So we have 2 winners. One of the winners is Hillary, and she correctly guessed after a few tries. And she's from Texas. She is running up that Hillary. That's her handle, something along those lines. And I made a comment to one other guy who guessed Texas. And I go, nope, I don't think the Lone Star State is ready for us yet. And she goes, yes, we are.
All right.
So Hillary's getting a shirt this week. The other girl, her name is Lou, L-U, Lou. And she did not guess correctly. But she guessed California. So I went and I responded to everyone with something funny or clever. And I go, nope, it's not California. But now I got the song from the OC stuck in my head. California, here I come.
Dude, I wake up to that song every morning.
Really? Is that like your alarm?
Yeah, it's my alarm song, yeah.
Seriously, that's your alarm?
It is my alarm. Yep, it absolutely is.
Well, she was like, can I still get a shirt for like putting you in a good mood and getting you singing or whatever? And I'm like, deal. So Hillary and Lou, you're getting On the Runs t-shirts. I'm going to have those out this week. I probably will get them out Monday or Tuesday. So when you're listening, it is probably in the mail. And thanks for doing that, guys. Like, let's keep this engagement up. March Madness this week. We are going to finish the quarterfinals. Not that I forgot yesterday, but I just got really busy to do the post-race grub. Yep. And then we're going to later this week get into the Sweet 16.
Can I just tell you, the winners of that race fuel bracket really threw me for a loop. None of the ones I
You're
picked.
Weird, though. You're weird.
Well, I wasn't that weird. I mean, come on.
You're just weird.
Listen, but none of my choices got picked. So this could be a very interesting little excursion that we do when I have to eat one of those things. Please don't be a gel.
All right.
I'd rather eat a banana. I don't like bananas.
Mashed potatoes.
Well, I'd rather eat mashed potatoes. If I could put like
really creamy mashed potatoes.
I don't know. I was going to say ranch, but let me put something on the mashed potatoes. Then I would eat them more. Maybe some butter. Super healthy.
One last thing. I know I say this all the time, and I know I said it with Josh a lot. If you spell socks really fast, it sounds Spanish.
SOCKS?
SOCKS!
Where did that come from? What? Is that like a dad joke?
Save us and take us home.
Is that a dad joke that I don't know about?
Take us home, Erika. Save this podcast. Thank you guys. You guys rock. What a fun time at the Eastern States 20 miler. Erika, have fun. Say hi to the parents in Myrtle Beach for me.
We never talked about shorts.
You're right.
Do you want to?
Let's talk about shorts. Yes, perfect time to talk about shorts. All right, guys. So if you stuck around this long, we can talk about it. But we got off the bus in the porta potty line. Erika, describe the girl standing in front of me that everyone probably thought I stood in front of her or behind her
on purpose
because of one reason, but that wasn't the reason. You told me to stand in that line. Paint the picture.
I don't know how to do this like a correct way because I am all for women wearing whatever the fuck they want. Honestly, whatever makes you feel good, whatever's going to make you speedy. I don't even care.
This wasn't that bad. This wasn't that bad. There's a lot worse out there. I'm more...
So you know how like the elite runners will wear like runner's briefs. So it's literally like a pair of underwear. Well, this particular pair of shorts, it was a very white, flowy pair of shorts.
Begging for an accident to happen, guys. Begging for an accident.
I can't see how these would have been a good choice for a long distance run. My personal choice.
Yes, because you're like, what about chafing?
I was so worried about chafing because this pair of shorts really wanted to get all up in there. How I don't know how to say this like in a good way, but
it's better you say it than me.
It was a very bold choice of shorts for a long distance run. Not something my butt would ever put on, just because I can't. My butt just doesn't work with that kind of clothes. But I don't know. It was not a great choice for that day.
There was a lot of skin for chafing.
Yes.
But I saw her at the finish line and she looked fresh.
Oh,
she looked
good for her.
She looked like she crushed it. She had it like she's just like hanging out, having a banana. No big deal. I did pass her though.
I did too. I did a little leapfrog in here and there, and she actually said like, "Hey, keep it up, good job." So she was super nice, and I was really rooting for her. I just didn't quite. Oh, I feel so bad. Like, I don't want to critique her.
They weren't just white; they were like a very light white.
Yeah. I'm telling you, if I had on that pair of shorts, my ass would have completely eaten them. Like, I don't
Kudos to her for rocking it and killing it, because she absolutely did.
Yes.
But that was a topic when we got back on the bus, and it was more just like, what if something goes wrong?
Honestly, it was more
not
of
just the code brown, but just the chafing
thing.
Yeah.
How I just what kind of body glide do you use? Did you use body glide? Is your ass okay? Like, I don't know, but literally, let this be the lesson. Wear whatever the fuck you want, women. Men, wear whatever the fuck you want. Nobody should be able to tell you otherwise. It's your choice. Just
if you can,
try to avoid the chafing. That's my code brown commandment. Wear something that won't chafe. There you go. I'm throwing one out there. Avoid the chafe.
Mine is the chafe cream.
Yes.
Which can easily.
If you have to wear something that chafes, go with his commandment and
it's post like the diaper rash
cream liberally.
Post run, like if you have chafing, put diaper rash cream on your chafe. Cures it overnight. Yep. It's amazing.
Yeah. Bold
great time on the pod. We got this in early.
Yes.
Awesome.
Oh,
have a great trip. Yeah.
We didn't congratulate some other runners from this weekend. Not only all the Eastern States runners, but we have Ruth Ann McManus, who finished the LA Marathon, Jared Ewing, who did the Virginia Beach Marathon.
Josh and Janine were there too.
Yes, they did I think they were doing the half both of them, or did one of them do the? Oh, I don't know. But congratulations either way. You guys are awesome. And we've got Yuki and a future guest of ours who did the New York City half this past today.
It was awesome. Guys, we have one more episode before episode 100. 99's a good one. We're real close to being a full-time or like a 90% of the time video podcast on YouTube. Thank you, everyone, for being a part of this, for following, for helping us out. Don't forget, go to Instagram and follow link in bio for everything else where you can find us. If you really love us and want to support us and help us pay for things like Riverside and Buzzsprout, or for research on like how do we get an LLC or a trademark or something, or buy more t-shirts, join our Patreon page and be one of the amazing 15 Patreons we have. You guys rock. You're kick-ass. I love you all. Thank you very much. And I love that I make you all laugh with the way I pronounce and say words. I'm doing my job. #winning. Erika, save me and take us home.
You guys know we love you. Don't forget to eat your oatmeal. And don't forget to stretch.
3, 2, 1, yeah!
No pressure, no stress. If you're ever like, oh, you know, I grew up really hating the Boston Bruins, and you're like, I wish I never said that. Can we start over? I'll start over, and you can say, I love the Boston Bruins.
Right.
All right.
Lie. I got to lie. Yeah.